I'm Bruce Morris from Grafton. I've heard that you've set up the art gallery here, Aboriginal Land Art Gallery. How long has it been in operation for, Maureen?
I don't know exactly, Bruce. It's been going about 3 months, I'd say, maybe a little bit longer. Yeah.
What do you have in stock in the store here?
Well, we've got a lot of things from all over the place. It's basically an Aboriginal people's gallery. That's the way we promote it. And the gallery itself owns very, very little. I spread the word and I visited Aboriginal people, told them what we'd like to do, and they supported the idea very strongly. So they took down boomerangs off their own walls, they took down the spears from the corner of the lounge room, they took stuff off their coffee tables. So just about everything in here comes from people in the Aboriginal community. We promote it as the gallery that spans 50,000 years of Aboriginal culture, from the string bags and the rocks that have been dated, carbon dated at being 40,000 years old, down to the doll that was only painted up yesterday, you know.
It hasn't been radar carbon dated at all yet, has it? It hasn't been carbon dated at all yet?
No, this is vintage December 1980, Redfern.
That's incredible, isn't it?
This one. So we've got stuff, as I say, that spans 50,000 years of Aboriginal art. And it doesn't matter if this was made in Hong Kong or Japan. Before we got to it, it was just a doll. Now it's something that our kids can identify with, that we can identify with. It doesn't need any words.
Yeah, it's great.
The positive images are there.
Yeah.
And these kinds of dolls, this coffee table, these chairs, they're part of the way we live now, you know. So we got a coffee table with Aboriginal carvings on it, you know. And the thing is that it's the positive images that are being projected, that Aboriginal kids can walk past that street and say, see that shawl? My mother knitted that. Or see that painting? My uncle painted that. That's the difference with our art gallery and the one at the Rocks or Paddington or in the city. I mean, they're all very good, no doubt. They serve the purposes that they were set up for. Ours wasn't set up for the same purpose. Ours is set up to pose the positive images. People stand across there at the pub at night, you know, and they pull up white people going past when they got a few drinks in and they'll say, see that? That's ours. And they point over here to the flag and the blackest beautiful shirts in the windows. I mean, down the Rocks, we haven't got Koories filling a pub down there, you know. Over in the city, we haven't got Koories coming in to listen to Black Lace play there. Here, this is where it's at. This is where it's happening. Refused to put in for a grant for this place because we wanted to do it on our own, and it's breaking us, but we're still here. Even if we've got to sell raffle chooks, you know, among the community to pay the rent for this place.
Are you given a hand by anyone else in the shop, or is it run totally by yourself?
No, it's not my shop, it's not my idea. It's an Aboriginal people's thing. It's very much a community thing. It only went ahead because the community supported it, and certainly my sister and I, my sister Lilla Watson from Brisbane, we talked about having this kind of thing in Brisbane. We talked about it here in Sydney, and we knew what we wanted, but we just couldn't get hold of a place. And the more we talked about it, the more support we got from the community. So it seemed that everybody had the same kind of ideas, you know. So it's very much a community thing. My family, I've got 5 sons, and my sons and their wives, they all help. Other people from off the street come in and say, look, you know, I can carve emu eggs. And we say, we'd like to learn. And they say, right, we'll arrange a time. We'll come up and sit down and help show you how, you know. Or they say, we do wood burning or wood carving. And we say, right, you know, would you like to come in? There's a lot of people who want to learn. Others come in and say, oh, gee, I'd love to have a garbage bin like that, you know. Can you do one for me? And I say, no, if you want one, come on in. There's somebody here who'll show you how to do it. So again, you know, it's no one person who runs this thing or who organises or who does the work. It's a group thing. It's a community thing. Very much a community thing.
Maureen, what do this shell come from?
That was done by a young Aboriginal artist here. We've got a lot of his paintings, and he's got a degree done 3 or 4 years. But the interesting thing about the shield, and no doubt with many of the other things that Aboriginal people will bring in, and we had the curator from the museum down, and he was saying that they've got shields in the museum that the people from that area have been making for hundreds of years. And this young man who made that one, as I said, has been to art college and that. And he said it conforms in design, composition, shape, size, and it's exactly the same as Aboriginal people from that area have been making for hundreds of years. You know, it means that even here on the East Coast, we are retaining much of our skill and our traditional culture, as opposed to the city culture that we're in now. So it's really heartwarming to know. And he'll teach his kids, you know, and they'll teach their kids, and it's really good. The museum wanted to buy that. They wanted to buy it, and it gives us a good feeling.
That's great, yeah.
You know,
we've got something that they haven't got, you know.
Yeah, the Museum of Australia, and they wanted to buy that.
Where does that artist come from? What's his name?
This is Colin Isaac's work. Yeah. And Colin's got paintings and wood carvings and wood burnings and sculptures. Does a lot of different things, as do a lot of other Aboriginal people.
What do you see for the future development of the gallery, and what's likely to happen in the near future?
What we want is mainly, apart from projecting the positive images of Aboriginal people today, what we want is that it plays a meaningful part in the Aboriginal community, in Aboriginal development, in Aboriginal identity. So that means Aboriginal people having access to the tools, the lessons, the courses, to do the things that they want to do. Leatherwork, for instance. We'll have leatherwork classes here. We'll have wood carving workshops. We'll have painting, we'll have sketching, we'll have didgeridoo playing, we'll have spear making, maybe boomerang throwing and spear throwing. We'll also have weaving. We'll also have painting in oils, portraiture. Whatever Aboriginal people want to do, we hope that we can help them to do that.